What is good, my guys and girls of YouTube? I am Justin Omoe, and today we are going to talk about FL Studio 20's browser window. So that's this thing here. We're going to talk about the channel rack and go away. We're going to talk about this top thing that I will call the top thing. In the previous video, we talked about installing this program, so if you don't even know what the hell this is, it looks foreign to you, go to the first video and learn how to install the files, as well as, the introductory of all the windows that we're talking about. Like for today, we're talking about 2 out of the 5 main windows. So the browser, is gonna be where your files are gonna, have for sounds. This is where your sounds are that you could throw into the program. As I showed you in the last video, we have 3 different sounds that we put in there. By default, you'll have a folder in here called packs. For me, it's called packs, and I put parentheses new. There's also this folder here that says FL Studio downloaded drum kits. You may not see it because this is something that I added in myself. It's a green folder with the plus sign. I'll show you how to add that in right now, actually, I have to tell you. So these are things that I downloaded or bought as well. Downloaded, like Illmind, the rapper, or not rapper, the producer. He hit me up, or I hit him up. I went to him, I talked to him, and he's like, yo, get these for free. Just kidding. I did meet him though, but I still had to buy the drum kits myself. It's not like he'll give you handouts. Anyways, these are sound kits that you would buy or whatever. And you may... Okay, stop, buddy. But yeah, these are basically things I downloaded and I put in a different folder from FL Studio's main folders, like the packs. So if I were to show you here, for example, I would open this. And if I were to go to patches, this is like the internal stuff. So let me say packs, and let me just rename this old FL Studio. STUDIO. So there. And you see it updated there. So let me just change this back to packs. There you go. Cool. There. Now it looks a little bit more like what you would expect. But yeah, notice this one has a green folder with a plus. You could go to options, file settings, and over here for browser extra search folders, you could click this folder icon and then find your folder that has your stuff in there. So if I go to 2015 anime and I hit OK, we'll see a folder that says 2015 anime. And in here you'll see Miss Monochrome, which, yeah, whatever. Another way to add folders is if you have a folder here, for example, SNES Verb, you just click and drag it and you see it creates that extra file folder there for the folder that you wanted. So if I go to options, file settings, you'll see it just added that in there. So how about another folder? Adrian. I don't know who you are, but there you go. Added it in there. So to delete it, you just highlight it, delete, highlight it, delete, and yeah, I don't know, hit enter if you feel like it. But yeah, these should go away. I don't know why they're not gone. Oh, okay. So when you close it, it goes away. Okay, cool. The last thing you should really care about in here is the current project for this tab. For some reason, it's not in this thing here. It should be, but I don't know why it's not. But here's current project. This will show you everything that's in the current project right now, like patterns. So the pattern 1, this is what's included in pattern 1. So that's pattern 1 right here, these sounds. If I create a new pattern and then put in only the hi-hat, you can see pattern 2 showed up, and it's showing only the pattern 2 for a hi-hat. So it's showing you everything in there. So as you see, I delete it. Pattern 2 has nothing, so forget about pattern 2. Pattern 3, there's pattern 3. Cool, where's pattern 2? There's nothing in pattern 2, so yeah, pattern 2. Pattern 2. Try and say that like fast, 10 times. There's also something like initialize controls, which are annoying. Sometimes you'll have to delete them depending on the circumstances. There's remote controls. So if you set something to control, like here, we have the volume that, remember, we created an automation clip. That's something that's controlling. Actually, no, this is something else. Yeah, you see the controller moving on its own. If I set this to a controller, link to the controller, I have it set on the Arturia keyboard. So if I show you right here, it's not the best video, but yeah, there you go. See this? I'm moving this and it's moving the volume for the channel rack. Yeah. That is a remote control. So if I were to right click and, well, you can't right click. If you left click it and hit reset and then accept, notice that I'm turning the same knob here, but nothing's happening. So yeah, that's a good way to manage controls and everything inside of your project. But yeah, that's the browser. Oh yeah, last thing, the plugin database. If you have third-party stuff, you'll have to install it. That's a little bit more of a separate video that I already made. So yeah, don't worry about that part too much. Cool. That's the browser right there. The top thing, let's talk about the top thing next. Is going to be the basic transport tools that you will use for FL Studio, such as play, stop, record, the tempo of the project, which we did not even change or set, the metronome. These are different type of MIDI stuff that you have to worry about. Typing keyboard to piano. So this is like using if I were to press keys on my keyboard. So yeah, I'm playing MIDI on my keyboard, literally. That's how you could basically record MIDI. So if I were to show you, you can see MIDI is recorded right there. So if you don't have a MIDI keyboard, you can use your computer keyboard as a keyboard with that. Cool stuff. There's other functions here. If you hit F1, you'll learn more about them. Like I said, my internet is cucking me right now, so yeah. I wonder if I got the offline version here. There's also the patterns, which we talked about. The snap function, which has to deal with snapping keys to the piano roll or the playlist. If I put this on bar, you can see this changed. So it's basically keeping things set to a setting that you want on there. So see how I'm able to go through every 1/4 of a beat in the measure. Cool. Those are pretty much the main things you gotta worry or know. Is the pattern, the snap, the transport tools, and perhaps a metronome for those who want it. Everything else you don't really gotta look too deep into. But we have like this meter thing. This is probably how you see it. I use as a spectrogram. I like it. Here's the metric, the times. It'll show you time or the beats per the measures and all that. I like it on time. It's also a CPU monitor that shows you how intense your project could be or how much, it monitors your CPU usage for it. Other buttons here consist of other functions. Just hit F1 and learn about them if you need to. But for the most part, all we got to care about is the transports, the pattern, and the snap. Here's the channel rack. As you seen in the last video, we could take sounds and throw them in there. So let me throw in some sounds for those who haven't seen the first video. You could go to the browser, find the sounds that you like. So like this hat, you can replace sounds by putting it over it. Notice it's the same MIDI. Or you could go here and let's find alright, I like this one. You can right click, send selected channel or focus plugin, or open in a new channel. This first option will replace what's in the selected channel, which is this green button or this green little highlight here. It would override it, but I want it in a new channel. Matter of fact, let's just go here and I'll show you. Right click there. So you see it just whoop, slide that in there. If you made a mistake, you could click this button here and go here and right click this folder and it'll show you your other sounds that you use, like 808 kick is right there, just in case. So let's hit play and see what happens. Alright, you can also play these sounds while it's being played. I want to delete that. You can use the arrow keys as well to play and preview while you move down. I like that one. Click, drag, drop. Whoopsies, my finger slipped. Cool. Notice how it's a little fast, or it's plain fast like this. You can use this tempo tool right here to change the speed. You can also right click and go to tap and tap in the tempo you got in mind. So if you hit play and then mouse click, left click, and 1, 2, 3, boom. Basically, you beatbox what you have in your head. So it's a little fast. Boom, 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 boom. So you get that speed. Boom. You can also use a right click and set it here if you want. It's a little too fast for my liking. So there we go. So there you go. Slower, and we could place things closer. Control Z undo. To plug in sounds into here, by the way, you left click things. If you want to delete, you hit the right click to delete. You can also click and drag sound the buttons to highlight them, or you hit Control Z to undo. And let's say you want more than this, you could use this little scroll thing, although it's not as reliable. Look how fast it is. You can also go here and pull out to get more measures. So let's say we want to do this. You can also right click and fill each step. Will help you fill out each of the steps. So let's say just every 4 steps. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. So as you see there, every 2 steps is 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Boom, like that. There's this new function called the advanced fill, which I have never previewed, or I've never done with in my life. As you saw, I just installed this yesterday, or today technically, but in the last video. But yeah, this advanced fill is a way to, you know, basically be creative with your sounds and figure out some stuff. So all right, yeah, you can also solo it. That's tight. Just know that depending on what you have, what sound you're using, it could be cool to use or not as cool. So yeah, look, I'm hitting the shuffle. Wow, it's pretty much randomizing everything, isn't it? Oh, reset. Cool. Maybe we could play with that later with the generator or something. We'll see. Hey, better do that. Cool. So there we have our first little pattern that we created. There's a few other things that you'll pretty much have to know for the introductory of this. If you left click these sound or these squares, it'll open up the sample window, and this is where you'll be able to see the properties of the sound. You could do things like normalizing, making it the loudest it could be for the highest peak. You could also go into these other functions to change up the way the sound sounds. So let's say for this one, let's put this at a thing attack like that. Yeah, let's play. It's pretty hard to tell the difference, but yeah. These are basically modifications that you can do for your sounds in, you know, the properties. So yeah, maybe I'll talk about this in another video. This is too much to comprehend in one. Just know that you could put sounds in here, create patterns, and change the volumes with this knob, as well as the panning. These numbers here, which I'll go ahead and reset, has to deal with the mixer window here. So if I put this in number 2, you can see number 2 is showing me the hats. Put it 3, 4, and so forth. This is going to associate the mixer insert that is, you know, with the channel, with the sound. So if I were to highlight all three of these, I left click. You can left click the same one to highlight everything, or just left click, drag down. If I highlight them, if I go into the mixer, I press Control Shift and L, it will go into the mixer. You can also right click, go to channel routing from this thing, but yeah, that's too much for that. Maybe I'll talk about it in the mixer, I don't know. This will change it from the step sequencer, so that's what these little things are called, steps, to a piano roll view. So this is what we see in the piano roll. Even if we go here and right click piano roll, oops, this is what we're seeing. These are the steps right here. This is just another way to view them for those who like to view it like that. And then there's this graph editor that shows different properties that you could adjust for each of these notes that are pressed in. So let's say for the hi-hats, we wanted something like this, where every second note is a little lower, like that. And maybe we could bump up some of these, like this, like that. Cool, right? Now if we hit play, you can hear differences in volume. This is ways to change that or to make it, you know, variable, different. Let's say for pitch. So there we go. A little groovy. I like that. I'll keep that, I guess. This right here has to do with groove. So changing this, or swing actually, changing this will change the groove of the feel. So you heard that kick, boom, booty. So if I go back here, you'll hear boom, bookie. So let's go halfway too. So you heard boo, bookie. Where there's no swing is boo, bookie. Put the on, boo, bookie, boo, bookie. So yeah, that's what swing is. Having more swing will give you a, you know, little, what's the word, boom bap like feel. Last thing about the channel rack before we end this video is right here you can see this plus button. This is going to open up the generator sound. So if you remember from last video, we had the 3x oscillator. That's this thing. Yeah. These are going to add in sounds like melody stuff, sounds that you would want into the project. For me, I use things like Absinthe. These are things I bought. You can also use things from FL Studio, obviously, like Harmless, like this thing here, and change its presets or whatever. We can lower that down. Let's try out that advanced fill. It's not as cool when there's no notes being played on it, isn't it? Huh? But yeah, that's what the generator is right here. You can press this plus button or right click and insert or replace, depending on if you want the sound that you have right here or not. For us, let's go insert one more time and let's find something like Citrus, another generator. And all these presets here comes with these things like Citrus, for example. These have percussions, arpeggiated sounds, so forth. So if I go into the piano roll and just plug it in. Cool. That's a basic overview for basically the browser, this top piece that we care about, only the stuff we care about, as well as the channel rack. Hopefully this video gave you some insight as to how these function works. And yeah, hit thumbs up if you like the video. If you learned something cool, if you have any questions, let me know in the comment section below. Maybe there's going to be people that already watched or know about FL Studio that can help answer you if I'm absent for some reason. Yeah. As always, thank you for watching and thank you for your support. Subscribe if you want to stick along. It is your boy Justin Omoe. With that being said, peace and have yourselves a damn good one. I'm out.